The transfer portal is kind of sort of subsided now, and I got some teams I want to talk to you about that I think kind of won this thing. Ole Miss, clearly a team that is a winner in the 2023/4 portal cycle. Number one team in the 24/7 Sports transfer portal rankings. They got 8 blue chippers. They got the number 1 defensive tackle in the country. They got the number 2 edge guy, number 3 linebacker, number 4 wide receiver. They took several DBs. They essentially overhauled their entire defensive backfield. So that's not a guarantee of anything, as I always like to say. That's like the bricks arriving on the pallet. You have to build them into whatever you want them to be built into. But they're no strangers to this approach there. And the expectations with Ole Miss will be as high as they've ever been under Lane Kiffin this upcoming year. They had to do this. They had to go this route. What about FSU? So I think FSU under Mike Norvell have sort of become perennial portal winners as well. PP dubs, as we like to say. They added 15 guys. They added 10 4-star rated players out of the portal. And DJ Uiagalelei, I think, is probably the most noteworthy because he's the quarterback. He went from Clemson to Oregon State and now to Florida State. And what you get there is 2 things. You get a bridge to your future quarterback, and they got a couple of them on campus. But you also get a guy who's been around the league, and he's experienced, he's mature, and has seen a lot of stuff at this point. And he's plenty good enough for them to win with. So you got that. They also added 5 guys from Alabama who, well, many of whom are going to be able to play pretty quickly. And you know what they're able to do now? Florida State's able to be more selective. A couple of cycles ago, they were going into the portal as basically a survival mentality. We've got to get you, and you, or we can't really do anything this year. Well, they still need the portal, but they don't need everything in the portal. It's not like going in their supermarket sweep mentality and just knock everything you can into your buggy and we'll sort it out later. They may have still taken a large quantity of guys. They're a lot more selective, and the Florida State brand is a whole lot more attractive, so they're getting approached a whole lot more by guys who do go in the portal. What about Texas? Texas is rolling. When it comes to talent acquisition, Texas is rolling. They got 6 out of the 8 kids as blue chippers out of the portal. They added 3 wide receivers. This was imperative. A.D. Mitchell is gone. Xavier Worthy is gone. And they went and added 3 receivers that will be immediate impact guys. I'm really excited to see what Isaiah Bond is in that offense. They also got Nyblack, the tight end from Alabama. And so they backfilled their pass catchers very effectively. Now, they gotta pan out. They got to pan out. And as we have seen, portal acquisitions do not pan out at as high a hit rate as traditional recruiting for obvious reasons. But Texas has been really good at this. Great job, by the way. I mean, just they had needs and they addressed them. And they're also recruiting that position well, too. But I think they went twofold on that approach. What about Oregon, man? Oregon killed it. Oregon keeps killing it. They got the number 3 portal class. They added Dylan Gabriel and Dante Moore. So they just basically watched Bo Nix walk out the door and listened to people say, quarterback questions at Oregon all of a sudden. And they just laughed. And they said, yeah, we got questions. Which of these starting quarterbacks are we going to play this year? And the answer is Dylan Gabriel in all likelihood. But Evan Stewart came out there as well. Former 5-star receiver, went to A&M, was what it was there. I circled his name, and I was very, very interested in watching the semi-recruitment process out of the portal. I know there were some teams that were involved. Other teams chose not to be involved. Oregon wanted him. Oregon got him. Jabbar Muhammad, the corner from Washington, it was sort of an Oregon-Alabama battle. He goes to Oregon the other day. That's a big get. They got 4 DBs out of the portal. Oregon could win a national championship this year. I hope people understand that. And there will be a healthy amount of skepticism because they haven't been to the playoff yet. So how are they going to go from not making the playoff to all of a sudden they make the playoff and win all these games? Well, with a lot of really good players, that's how they would do it. It's not my prediction yet, but that's how they would do it. Ohio State. I don't think much more needs to be said about Ohio State. They went and got their starting quarterback in Will Howard. They went and got a starting running back in Quinshon Judkins. Now, I'm a believer that Travion Henderson, if healthy, is still going to be the number 1 running back on that team. And he needs to be because he's an Ohio State guy. But nevertheless, Quinshon Judkins is a stud in his own right. They got Caleb Downs, who may very well be the best football player on that team and just came there from Alabama. Julian Sayin could be the quarterback of their future. They added 3 of the top 8 available players in the transfer portal. Translation, Ohio State kind of sort of got it done. They went and attacked the transfer portal and got it done. And we always love the snow B-roll of Will Howard there playing at Kansas State.